Vroom. Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to this Pathworking. I decided to do two short Pathworkings together to finish off the story of Gawain and the Green Knight. So first of all, the Green Chapel, and then return to Arthur's Court. And that will finish the videos for this particular theme. So we are here in the presence of the Hallows, the sword, the wand, the Grail, and the stone. Hail to the Hallows. Make yourselves comfortable now and ready for meditation. Close your eyes. Before you, upon a wall of clean and polished white stone, hangs a tapestry. The thread is polished and shining. The tapestry is simple, a wooden door with an ornate handle of gold. The tapestry seems alive with music and magic, and you reach towards it, focusing on the golden latch. You are not surprised to feel the cool touch of the precious metal. You turn the knob slowly to the right and hear a satisfying click as the door begins to open. You venture out from your safe, warm room and into the frozen, wintry outdoors. It is near dawn with a crisp wind from the east. Yet the winter sun is still hiding beyond the horizon. The silvery starlight is dancing in the sky, and all is silent in this white winter world when the distant sound of grinding metal reaches your ears. You pause to listen more closely, and then you begin to walk towards the sound. A path upon the snow, frozen earth beneath your feet becomes clear after your first few steps. There are hedges where the boughs are bare and climb the cliffs where the cold still clings. Naught falls from the heavens, but mist broods over the moor and hangs on the mountains. Each hill has a cap, a great cloak of mist. The streams foam and bubble between their banks, dashing sparkling on the shores where they shelve downwards. Rugged and dangerous is the way through these woods, till it is time for the sun rising. Then you are on a high hill. The snow lays white beside you, and you notice beside you Gawain sitting proudly astride his mighty warhorse Gringolet. Before you lies a dangerous path, says Gawain, turning to meet your gaze. Should you choose to turn aside, you will bear no shame. Should you choose to proceed, you will do so alone, for I can go no further with you. Walk the path until you come to the rock, and then the bottom of the valley. There look you to your left hand, and you shall see the veil of the chapel and the green man who keeps it. Farewell. Know that you take the gifts of the lordly ones with you. You look to your waist and see the green girdle still fastened securely, latched together now with the golden likenesses of a hind and a boar. Upon your shoulders sits the flaming red fur of Reynard the fox. The sun is rising now as you take your first step forward down the path. Through the rough thicket, right into the dale, and you halt, for it seems wild enough here with high and burned banks on either side and rough, rugged crags with great stones above. There, on a mound, on a level space of land by a bank, beside the stream where it runs swiftly, the water bubbles within as if boiling. You go close to examine the strange mound. It has a hole at the end and at either side, and it is overgrown with clumps of grass and as hollow within as an old cave or the crevice of a crag. Standing just outside of the mound is a tall, massive figure in green. His arms are crossed on his chest, and over them hangs a thick, curly beard of leaf and moss. His eyes twinkle at you as he nods towards the ground near his boot-clad feet. Your eyes follow the gesture and see a mighty axe lying on the emerald moss. It glistens in the brilliant morning light, its edge keen and quick. Runes dance and glow within the metal and the handle, and in the distance you hear bells, chimes, and rings. You breathe deeply and feel your heart beating strongly within your breast. The green giant strides to the axe, grasps it in his meaty hands, and stands before you. I am the green bough within the deepest white of winter, says the green man as he raises the axe high above his leafy head. I am the red berry upon the greenest bough at dawn, you hear yourself say slowly as you kneel and bow your head. You place one hand over the golden boar and hind on your belt, while the other grasps the fox fur tightly to your shoulders. You feel a rush of wind that smells of moss, mud, and leaf, and then a tiny prick on your neck. Firm hands help raise you to your feet. Deep breaths fill your lungs. Your heart beats steadily and strongly. Behold, the promise of life in the depths of winter, says the Green Knight. For the days will now become longer, and winter must soon sleep. A warm wind caresses you with the smell of salt and sea, and you close your eyes, relishing the moment. You silently thank the lordly ones, the folk of the lake, for this vision. At the edge of the green mound you see a path. With a step you are once again upon this familiar path, and walking towards your own safe haven. With a few more deep breaths and strong beats of your heart, the path shifts slightly beneath your feet, and you are safely within your own world and in your own time. The return to Arthur's court. The journey is almost complete. The seeker has triumphed, and now is the time for them to return home and begin the celebration that is richly deserved. There should be an acknowledgement of the seeker's journey, this initiation across the thresholds into the lands adventurous. And in acknowledgement, before setting forth again, there should be a glance backwards at where you have been. Before you, upon a wall of clean and polished white stone, hangs a tapestry. The thread is polished and shining. The tapestry is simple, a wooden door with an ornate handle of gold. The tapestry seems alive with music and magic, and you reach towards it, focusing on the golden latch. You are not surprised to feel the cool touch of the precious metal. You turn the knob slowly to the right and hear a satisfying click as the door begins to open. You venture out from your safe and warm abode into the chilled and frosty outdoors. It is twilight, and to the west, the winter sun settles beneath the horizon amidst a tapestry of fiery red, orange, and white wispy clouds. To the east, you can see distant lights twinkling as the darkness of night approaches. Silvery starlight dances in the sky as a crisp wind brings the faint sound of plucked strings and raised voices from the north. You turn and begin to walk towards the music as the revelry is joined by the aroma of roasting meats and the sound of hearty laughter. A path upon the frozen earth beneath your feet becomes clear after your first few steps. Within seconds, it seems, a walled city as magnificent and brilliant as the night sky itself unfolds on a hill before you. As you step forward once more, you feel a slight shift in the earth beneath you, and behold, you stand at the magnificent gates of Arthur's winter court at Camelot. The strings of the harp are sweet and sharp, and the aromas of the night's feast are tantalizing. You raise your arm to knock upon the doors, when silently they begin to swing open, revealing a familiar scene. In the center of the massive room sits the wondrous round table. A greenery of pine, holly, and mistletoe adorns the hall in the form of wreaths and decoration. In their seats at the magnificent round table, drinking and feasting in delight, are Arthur and his magnificent knights. You enter the hall, feeling the warmth of the roaring fires, your senses alive with the smells and sounds of the New Year's revelry. Laughter rings from the rafters as the wine flows freely, and you find a place at table close by. You see Gawain rise from his place at the round table and approach you, holding a silver platter. He is smiling and seems content as he nods in greeting to you. Welcome home, traveller. Drink to the new year and partake of the glory of the season. You look to the platter and see a generous cup of sweet white wine. You take it and drink deeply. Arthur next approaches your table. He bears a platter of roasted meats, nuts, and berries, which he places before you. Arthur speaks. Well done, seeker. Be welcome, and share in our good cheer. You see before you now a beautiful lady, tall and stately, clad in silver and ivory, her brow draped with a circlet of silver stars. She greets you. Greetings of the lake to you, valiant one. Eat, be merry, you are safe here. The lights dim as a bard moves to the center of the hall. A hush falls upon the room as the plucked strings of a harp are heard, and a crystal voice soars into the room. Where wonders, wars, misfortune, and troubled times have been, where bliss and blind confusion have come and gone again, a story pinned in patterns, steadfast, steady, strong, aligned in linking letters, as folk have loved so long. So drink and eat with pleasure, and be of mirth and good cheer. 3 platters piled past measure, bright wine and foaming beer. After you have eaten and drunk your fill, the lights within the hall begin to dim. The fires within the great fireplaces diminish to glowing coals, and the guests begin to fade from the room. You find yourself at the doors once again, facing the courtyard that is dusted in a light snow. You silently thank the lordly ones, the folk of the lake, for this vision. At the edge of the courtyard, you see a path. With a step, you are once again upon this familiar path and walking towards your own safe haven. With a few more deep breaths and strong beats of your heart, the path shifts slightly beneath your feet, and you are safely within your own world and in your own time. And so, friends, that concludes the story of Sir Gawain. I will be doing more Arthurian meditations in due course. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have any questions, please ask. If you'd like to read more about Gawain, there is a book entitled Sir Gawain by John Matthews. which we have available if you send me a message. And also, I really would recommend the book entitled Gwyn, which is all about Gwyn ap Neath, by Uri Leach. And as he talks about the correspondence, possible identification of Gawain with Gwyn ap Neath, which is really quite interesting. So that's all for now. Every blessing.
Yes.